Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the stream. It's me, Digi. And yes, Kevin, it does look like you are first. Kev, good to see you. We are back in FS 2020 and we are continuing our another unofficially official series in MSFS where I take on the role of a corporate pilot and have fun flying biz jets. But really, in my case, there's only one Bizjet other than the Learjet 45 that I like this much, and it is the Phenom 100. This beautiful example is provided to us by Coxper, but at the same time, I used to fly an FSX with one made by Carenado. Wonderful visuals, and it did have some stuff, including an FMS that I could actually use when I flew on VATSIM. We are, of course, reprising one of my favorite call signs, November 6532 Zulu, because of the fact that that call sign or that registration was on there was a different livery. There was like a deep kind of like deep rock brown kind of like, almost midnightish type deal, but all the same, it's where we are. All right, now we are at Stewart in Newburgh. This is Stewart International, New York Stewart International. We are at the General Aviation Terminal. I'm going to be turning on my VATSIM things because, amazingly enough, I'm going to be flying with VATSIM today. Incredible. There is no VATSIM coverage in my immediate area. There is center coverage in Toronto. I think that's Ontario Center or Toronto Center. And we're not going to be touching it because we're going to be going from Stewart to Burlington in Vermont. That's Vermont, not the coat factory. And we're going to be flying this bird into runway 19er, which is the skinny GA runway, but it takes us pretty much right down to the general aviation parking area. Yay, VATSIM! Let's go, let's go. All right, so we got a nice cold jet. Let's warm it up, shall we? Let's grab our equipment and start getting set. Chocks for now, and give me the GPU, please. We'll get the GPU plugged in, and I will get the generators and the battery turned on so they can overcharge as usual. And we will get the nav light on, because given a low vis day like this, I'll take all the visibility I can get right out the way. We do have some weather to our south, it appears. I don't think it's going to be a factor. I don't think. And there's some weather not that far away from, I think, Rochester and Schenectady, which we're going to most likely bypass since, again, we are flying up to Burlington. So the computers are computering, and let's go ahead and just get set. Supply control auto will go ahead and start pressurizing the cabin. Give me bus tie auto, ELT back to armed, and get the seatbelt signs on. Pump 1 and 2 to auto, hydro pumps to auto, ADS AOA to auto, and heating, window heats are on, and we'll get the engine ignition switches set to auto. Pressurization, bleed to both, pressurization mode to auto. Flaps are currently 0. The throttle is now confirmed. Idle, parking brakes are set. That is what set looks like. This is what unset looks like. Kerchanga, there we go. GPU is currently connected. Let's not waste too much more time on the ground and get going. My flight plan is already filed. We are going to be going to Burlington, and the flight plan that we gave is the flight plan we should be using, which is going direct to, I believe, Stubby after we fly out on runway 34, and then following Vector Airway. Where's the Vector Airways? Oh, excuse me. We're going to take a Victor Airway to Bowen, and then we're going to be going to Cam, and then from Cam, which is Cambridge, we're going to be going up to basically Plattsburgh International, or at least that's where I'm going to go before I turn right to turn to the airport. Hey, hey, Lyles, good to see you, my friend. Welcome, welcome. We're flying to Vermont today. Grab your jacket. It's probably still a little bit cold there. We're not all the way warmed up yet, but I do think the snowy season has left the Mid-Atlantic states. I do believe that. So we've got the yacht amper turned on, the flight director turned on. Let's go ahead and dismiss those alerts and start getting the flight plan prepped. This one's a little bit ancient. I do not believe this has SimBrief integration, but that's okay. I've used this plane so many times in FSX that punching the buttons doesn't feel like a chore to me. So we are leaving Newburgh. Newburgh. We're leaving Newburgh. Why would I want to leave Newburgh to get an old burger? Ew. No, 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 no. Newburgh always. Newburgh always. All right, so we're going to go to destination next, and we're going to punch in Kilo Bravo Tango Victor. No, 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 not Yankee. Get it right, Ditch. Kilo Bravo Tango Victor. That is Burlington. And runway 19er should suffice for us. That's what we're going to choose. Book of Gaming, my fellow brother in Christ, love your soul, my friend. I love you, sir. Ooh, wow. Like it's a thing that we don't think about as simulator pilots, but like when you get close to or when you're departing from an airport and you do not have the situational awareness of the, I guess, the low lying stuff that you're going to be flying across, that's gotta be a gut check moment. That's incredible. It's sad. It's sad. Not gonna lie, but hey, it's definitely a thing. So good Friday, Ibanez, my friend. Good to see you, buddy. Look, 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 look. Bizjet. Mm-hmm. Corporate life has got me in its hooks, homie, and I do not want to leave. I'm punching in the waypoints right now. We're going to try to do a flight to Burlington, not the Code Factory. And we're going to see if we might be able to squeak out another flight to Quebec City. So I'm punching in my waypoints now, and we're going to see what becomes of this. It's Enya Ibanez. Ibanez. Thank you for the correction, my friend. Canaan. This flight could get biblical. Not Coralto. I want you. Cambridge. Thank you. Okay, so literally there is no approach for runway 19er. So we're going to go direct to Kilo Papa Bravo Golf. And then from there we're going to go to the approach. All right. So, let's do the things. Let's do the things. We got the flight plan in. Um, if I really wanted to, I could probably mess around with the VNAV stuff, but we're gonna drive it ourselves today. We're probably what's the flight plan for today? What's my cruising altitude? Check my brief. We're gonna be cruising at initial climb is 16,000. That seems a little bit underperformant. Mm, no, no, no. Um, Let me do this. Let me do this. It's about an hour, so basically like 30 some odd minutes. Maybe I think we're gonna do. Wait, this doesn't make any sense. It's east of my location. Why am I cruising at an even altitude? No, we got to change this. We're going to be cruising, I think, at flight level 210. 210 is fine. 210 is fine. Let me refile. Refiled. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, the number of times I've mispronounced people's names or handles in terms of like Twitch and stuff, it's not legendary. It's just all too common. So we've got the flight plan filed, and now we can actually get under under the way. Wait, departure out of here. Do I care? No, no. It's kind of like a too little, too late. I think we're good. I think we're good. We've got all the waypoints that we need, player. We've got them all. We've got them all. So the beauty of where we are is that I can turn around and literally taxi up. Um, where are we? Taxi up, taxiway Foxtrot. So there we go. What am I missing? No, not much. We've done prep. So again, good to see you. He once called me El Libro de Juegos one time. No, he didn't. El Libro de Juegos. That means the Book of Juegos in Spanish. Book. Seriously. Love your soul. Do not change. All right, so we're going to be flying up to Vermonti, and going to remove those chocks and get this bird ready to taxi. Going to be going out that way, not that way, that way, and then we're going to get going. I'm not going to need GSX for this because I can just get pitched around real fast. And let me just double check. We've done most of the checklist already. Let's see. Courtesy lights should be off at this point. Yeah, cabinet wash is out. And I can do a few more tests. Courtesy emergency water. We've got the charts done. Emergency equipment, oxygen, supply control, oxygen, electrical panel. Circuit breakers don't matter. Fuel pumps, fuel transfers not pushed in. And ELT set, pusher cutout, hydro pump, heating, ice protection. We might need some ice protection on this flight depending on the weather. And flap levers are zero. Yeah, parking brake is set. Seats and belts, good. Now, before we get started, we do have our runway for departure. We're taking off runway 24. Departure brief, we're going to be taxiing off Foxtrot 234. And then maintenance status good. We are not going to be using any kind of VOR or, excuse me, approach instruments. We're just going to be eyeballing it, unless, of course, we have issues. Let me double check the weather at Burlington. Weather: winds 20025, gusts 39er, cloud scattered 1,300, and Burlington is 335. So that gives us roughly 1,000 feet to play with. We should be okay. Do we have any rain? We do not have rain. Temperatures 08, 2.04, altimeter 3005. We're good. We're good. Okay, so weather's been checked. Winds, VOR flight logs, lights, engine ignitions are auto, thrust levers are idle, batteries are on, GPU is required. We can remove the GPU at this point, and we can remove the chocks because we're about to get going. Oh, wait, double check. Let's see. Got a test. We calibrated the altimeter. Flight plan set. Takeoff temp. Oh, of course, my transponder. My transponder needs to be set. 2257. I have not had VATSIM do any auto ATC for me, so that nobody's given me a squawk code. And let's see. When we land, I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna give myself a minimums check of I use radio altimeter. I think I'm going to say somewhere between 300 to 400 feet. I'd say 400 feet just to be on the safe side. Well, considering, no, that's 400 feet above ground. Okay, okay. So 300 feet above ground should be fine. And that's it. That's my setting. I got my coffee, so I'm set for the show. My transponder has a first name. It's OSCAR. Well, my transponder has a first name. It's PHENOM. Got him. Um, okay. Squawk code is set. Don't need VOR. Don't need ILS. Don't need RNAV because there isn't any for runway. And that's it. All right. Um, let's test the annunciator lights. Click. Okay.
Fire. Fire.
All right. Fuego.
Stall. Stall.
Okay. Good things. Good things. All right. We are good to go. Let's make sure we know what the CTAF is for this place. It would help for me to connect to Fatson on my, vPilot app. And there's Auto ATC. There we go. Ka-ching. All right, so we're going to squawk 6757 instead of my custom code. Thank you. 6757. Kerchanga. And what else am I missing? For your IFR flight, this will aid. Yep, that's it. All I need to know. So, CTAF for KSWF. It's 121 dot nothing. All right, so that's set. Let's go ahead and announce our intentions. Magic quantum packets, whatever those are. Wow, that sounds impressive, my guy. New York Stewart traffic, November 6532 Zulu is Embraer Phenom 100. We are at the GA ramp. We will be taxiing and departing runway 34 via Foxtrot. Stewart traffic. Okay, let's get this bird started up. Clear left, clear right, clear prop. All right. Ignition is on. Let's go ahead and turn engine number 2 on. Here we go. Oh, the beauty of engine whine. There she be, boys. There she be. Oh, you know what? Um, you 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 know what's typically a good idea to make sure we have? Fuel. Fuel. The block fuel for today's flight is 1,723 pounds. We're a little short. Let's give it the goods. Let's give it the goods. All right, we'll take some more. We'll go a little bit heavy, a little bit extra, maybe like I don't know, an extra minute or two of contingency. Um, but wait. Let me take a look at the departure briefing. You know that thing I'm supposed to review to be a good pilot. Okay, so maximum would be 2806. I don't think I need that. Payload for today's flight is going to be 920 pounds. I shouldn't have had that extra burrito. Okay, so give or take a few pounds, and our fuel is set. That's fine. I'm happy with that number. We're good. Normally, after the engine start, I could hit the ELEC emergency button, but since it's not modeled here, I'm good. Just put $5 in it. Hey, I feel you. Gas pump sticker shock, baby. And we'll set our flaps right now. I'm gonna give it flaps 1. As evidenced by my landing here last time, I floated virtually the entire thing, so I know it's a long runway. And alt cell. Let's do flight level 210 right off the bat, since I don't think we're going to be in trouble if we do, but let me double check the departure. 210, and we're going to climb at 170 knots. If we take a look at the Stuart 9 departure, if we depart on runway 34, our initial climb is actually 3,000. But again, nobody's watching over us right now. And, ooh, problem? Reload, please. Approve. And give me a moment. Okay, ran into a problem with the flight plan for some reason. My local charts app decided to go, pew. So that's fine. We'll do what we do. Yeah, there's I don't think there's anybody in the immediate area. There is somebody coming up my way, a CRJ at about 5,000 feet and climbing. So I'm gonna watch out for traffic, but we should be good. That's fine. Let's go ahead and hit engine number one. Give it the go juice. Okay, taxi lights on. And strobe lights, not yet. Not yet. Speed again is going to come into play once we hit flight level change, and we will take our time getting out of Newburgh. Also, do we have? Can I see VATSIM traffic right now? I'd like to. Okay, I don't think so. That's okay. That's okay. We'll deal. We'll deal. I have I have multiplayer and AI traffic turned off. Let me just double check. My immersion. It's okay. It's okay. Data. Yeah, multiplayer is off and real world traffic is off. So yeah, I should see VATSIM traffic. I might not see it on the MFD, but we will do our best. We'll do our best. Okay, so at this point, we're still good. Let's go ahead and do a quick flight controls check. Full left, full right, full back, full forward, full left rudder, full right rudder, and that's it. We should be good. Woo! Sorry about that. Now we can release the parking brakes and get going. Parking brakes released. All right, shooby dooby, let's go. Yep, nobody. Give me my immersion. Okay, so we are approaching the I think the ILS hold short point, but let me see. Anybody in my immediate area? The answer is no. So at this point, I can go ahead and turn landing lights on, throw strobe lights on, and we're already squawking mode Charlie. Go figure that. Haha. Mode C. And now I'm going to go ahead and get myself ready to hit the start button. Give it a little bit of juice for this hill. And just a little bit of rise in my seat here. All right, we'll hold short just to do a quick ramp check, and then we will depart on 3-4. Sound off. All right. Parking brake check. Flaps are currently set to 1. Throttle is idle. We have trim set to 0. Let's add a little bit of trim. Just a skosh. 3 should be fine. We'll find out if it's not. And that's it. All right, checking. No, no. The answer is no. All right. Oonts, oonts, oonts. Techno music. Um, or EDM, Eurobeat intensifies. Gas, gas, gas for initial D. New York Stewart International Traffic, Embraer 32 Zulu lining up and departing runway 34 Stewart traffic. Okay, so now we can hit the start button and get underway. Parking brake is off. Let's give it some juice. Night's on fire. I have to admit, there's something neat about a kid that knows how to race, that barely cares until like what, the third season. And basically winds up stepping on virtually everybody's toes. All right. If you haven't already strapped in, buckle your seatbelts now. Let's go. We're already stable. Let's hit max takeoff. Airspeed is definitely alive. We're looking at 70 knots right now. This was about where I touched down last time. And rotate. And up, up, and away. Positive rate. Gear up. Flaps to 0. And take off to 10. Stewart traffic, Embraer 32 Zulu, 1100, climbing for flight level 210 on the Stewart 9. Last call. Take care. All right. Autopilot. Nav. GPS. And let's do a quick heading turn just to get lined up first. And also flight level change. Get that all the way down to 170. We're going to climb, and we're going to climb fast. Book, that already happened. Okay, so I'm keeping a close eye on traffic. No traffic here. Let's switch over to Unicom. One, 2.2.8. Bloop. All stations in the Stewart International Area. Embraer November 6532 Zulu, 5,700, climbing flight level 210 on the Stewart 9, direct stubby. We just lost Book. Bye, Book. Alright, so we should be able to switch over to nav mode now, I think. Yeah, we should be fine now. All right. So, welcome again, everybody, to our first of hopefully two flights today. We just left New York's Stewart International Airport in Newburgh, and we are flying to Burlington, Vermont. It just hit me that that's also the place where uh, uh, White Christmas was. So that's cool. No snow though, unless we see some at the sim. Oh, he's returned. Welcome back, book. Nice. All right. So, as you can tell, clouds, lots of clouds, they're a thing. Um, what I'm wondering is why I'm not seeing any traffic on VATSIM, unless there just isn't any. We're not squawking VFR, but we are flying, and that's fine. We're getting a 40 knot tailwind, which is a nice boost. And yeah, there's a reason I don't see any traffic. It's just because there isn't any. Also, I just realized why. The range on the fish finder is a max of 25 nautical miles for traffic. So we should be able to see traffic now. I think maybe 5% of the movie's about Christmas. Oh man. I first discovered that movie one Christmas, like the beginning of December. This was back when I still had cable, and my wife and I were sitting at the TV, like an actual television, and we were flipping channels, and AMC was showing White Christmas. So we're like, this looks nice. Like 13 years later, we haven't gotten enough of it yet. And I'll be sentimental. I miss that time of year already right now. But I'm grateful to be in the season that I'm in. And I'll tell you what's up, or what's been going on. I know I've been dealing with life, with work. Mrs. DG has had multiple trips to the ER. Today she's okay. She's doing some stuff, trying to work on some potential crafting ideas, and hopefully soon we'll have better medication going through her system. She started on a new medical regimen. Unfortunately, that medication has messed with her, and she literally has not slept the same way people like you and I do for about 3 weeks now, almost a month. But in the midst of all that, we keep pressing on. Also, the interview that I was trying to get, the job that I was trying to get, fell through. So we'll have to move on from there as well. It's a thing, unfortunately, but such is life, and I'm grateful to Yahweh for the opportunity. So all I can tell you is that I gave it my best shot, and I have no regrets about how I performed. The feedback was that, hey, someone else had just a little bit more experience than you did in this area. So I was like, hey, great, click, file that away under not happening, move on. And that's good. That's good. Like I'm not in a spot where it's like, oh, well, like if I would have just like tried harder, no. No, 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 no. I've squashed that so fast. I've never studied harder. I've never actually tried harder to get a position in my life than this. So, I'm good. I am good with regards to that. Also, GPS is locked in, so I'm happy. Watch it every Christmas all the time. True story. One time at church at a Christmas program, on the day of, one of the lead singers was sick, so she asked my wife to step in. The song was Snow from White Christmas. Do you need to practice? Do you know the words? My wife was like, yeah, I'm good. That's awesome. Oh, oh my word. Oh, A couple of years ago, we went to a live like a theater performance of White Christmas, and not gonna lie, I'm gonna give this to you straight. I was expecting the performance to be. I was expecting the performance to be. What's the phrase I'm looking for? I was expecting it to fall in line with the movie. I was expecting, when my wife and I saw that the performance was White Christmas and they started playing the music, we kind of looked at each other like, oh, here we go. But it wasn't. It was like, the artistic license version of White Christmas with differences. And it was just like, I was like, oh, hey, this is neat. Was it what I was hoping for? Nah. I was hoping to, like, have them have them follow, the script to the hilt, so that my wife and I could just like sing along and belt out lines and stuff like that. But it's gonna change a bit. It's gonna be different. That's fine. Such is life. But we had a great time, and we did go back to that performance company at their place the following year to watch the another kind of like Christmas rendition thing. So we were good. Like they do a great job. But yeah, White Christmas is like definitely, required viewing. Mother of Pearl celebration of Christ's birth. Um, Not familiar with that. Clue me in on that again. I mean, I did clock some time as a Roman Catholic in my life at one point, but I do not remember Mother of Pearl celebration. That I don't remember. That is the generic White Christmas. Okay, all right then. Noted. But yeah, um, today I have the day off from work, and I am just chilling out. After these flights, I'm probably going to take a good chunky break and then maybe either cook something, get something started, like maybe get a crock pot going, or just make something, or just hang out and then do something else. Ah, indeed, indeed. Interesting. Interesting. I I was like watching YouTube videos, and for some reason the YouTube rabbit hole I found took me down a path of old computer games. I found myself watching video games about the old marathon first person shooter game series. And yes, there were a bunch of FPS clones at the time, around like when Wolfenstein 3D and Doom came out. They sang siblings. Interesting, huh? I might have to look into that. Like the license-free version. I was just making bad jokes. So you've been joking with me all this time? Like I said, don't ever change. But it's nice for me to, like, not fly a sim like every single day, all the time, period. If you are any kind of a flight sim enthusiast like myself, you know how like you get to the point where, like Dave Ramsey said, if you eat enough lobster, it tastes like soap. Well, like, if you fly enough sims, you're like, oh, okay, I'm gonna fly. Okay, like, where do I want to go now? Okay, what plane do I want to fly? Because it's like you do it so much, you wind up getting to a point where you're like, well, I don't really feel like doing it right now. So, like, listen to yourself. Go do something else. So, I I wound up downloading and installing the classic Marathon Durandal, and Marathon Infinity games, and I'm slowly playing through them. Now, basically, it's Doom era graphics and gameplay, except you can look up and down a little bit. I have zero clue about doing the same thing over and over again. Really? Exactly, Sogan. You understand me. Like, you get it. You get to a point where the saturation hits that part of your brain, and the brain's like, well, this isn't really going to introduce anything new to me, so why do I care? Why do I care? Let me lower the volume just a touch. And basically, you get to that point, you're like, no, I'm good. I'm good. The 787 can stay in the hangar. I'm good. I'm good. And then basically, you move on. And it's like, some of us feel bad. It's like, oh, I don't want to flight sim, or oh, I don't want to do the thing that I usually do that I'm known for. Like, what's wrong with me? It's called your brain wants a break. Oh, I was sick of that game for years. Wow. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And you get to a point where you're like, well, I don't know. Like I want to do stuff, but whatever. And that's, to me, that's okay. To me, that's normal because things because basically you're gonna wind up in a spot where it's like you're gonna start to be like, yeah, I'd rather not be doing this right now. So it's like, okay, so why start the sim up in the first place? Don't stick yourself in a hole and then make yourself regret turning it on. I've literally had flight sim flights at points where I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, go land the plane, I'm fine, and then I cut the flight off at that point and turned the sim off because it's just like, okay, I'm bored. It happens. Even to flight sim streamers who pretend they're successful, like me. Um, it's been a while since I cut a stream mid-flight because I just got sick of it. But it did happen a non-zero number of times in the past. I forgot about Dust. I don't think I've ever played Dust, actually. But circling back to Marathon, I started playing it, and the thing that hooked me about Marathon is the story that you get from the terminals. You're not getting voice characterization of the AIs you're interacting with or the enemies, other than the noises that they make. So basically, it's like Doom, except that you get still images and logs that you read of the story and what you're supposed to do. And just that alone, the story writing in the classic Marathon trilogy is amazing. Now, in terms of console gaming, I just found Front Mission Gun Hazard. Let me tell you, that game got its hooks in me and did not want me to let go of playing it. That was a Super Nintendo title, and like Japan release, and it actually has, like, English translation, but it plays like Assault Suits Falcon or Cybernator, the U.S. title. And basically, the same team that made Cybernator for the Super Nintendo is the same team that actually made Front Mission Gun Hazard. So I'm playing Front Mission Gun Hazard right now on my off time. So my side hobby now has a new side hobby. If you caught that. Highly recommend Dust, huh? Huh. Huh. Might have to do a Steve Rogers and put that on the list. Computer game Dust. A Tale of the Wired West. Huh. Wow. And it's talking about a different game. You love Super Mario World, but can't help to be burned out on the first level. Other than that, the rest of the game has its hooks in me. First world. Yeah. Oh, an Elysian Tale. Okay. Thanks for the correction. Let's make sure I have that. Dust and Elysian Tale. Action role playing. Okay, and it's on Steam. It's not that expensive, but money things right now, so I won't be able to buy it. That was the thing about the classic Marathon trilogy. Bungie graciously let the Aleph 1 team put it on Steam and let it stay free. So that's how we got all three games. That's how we got them. Got them. So I will be playing that, I think, in between other blips. Also, let's see how we do it. Volume. I'm a little bit peaky. I'm hoping that my microphone isn't like horrible. I know. I should spend a little bit more money on my setup, and I think I actually would like to do that at some point. But again, funds. And to be honest, right now, like all this stuff is literally like the last thing on my priority scale right now because my heart just is on taking care of like Mrs. Digi and just making sure that she's cared for. Clearly, you guys understand how much I love my wife and I want her to feel better. There have been nights where she has literally had difficulty, even remotely falling asleep before I did. She doesn't sleep. Like she doesn't sleep in the sense that you and I do. She'll like transition into um, dream sleep and not a dream sleep like really fast. And she's got a sleep study scheduled. There we go. She's got a sleep study scheduled, but she yeah she's not resting. She's not resting right now. So I figure she gets to a point where she starts getting better. She starts getting more rest. She starts getting her vitality back. Then there'll be a return to probably some of the other things that I usually did, which is, actually have more brain time, more scenery development. Although I can always just stop flight simming and just go hardcore scenery dev for a little bit. I'm trying to find that cadence again, and I'm not gaslighting myself. I understand I'm exhausted, or at least I'm tired and I'm bouncing between things. And it's like my brain is compartmentalizing, switching. So it's like my brain's going to look for quick dopamine hits. They're going to let it keep going. And sometimes cracking into scenery dev is not one of those things. Side-scrolling Metroidvania build is so strong that the game can't kill me, so I got stuck in the lava for the final boss while I was trying to break the stun lock. All the meanwhile, I was actually gaining more health than I was losing. It was super awkward. Wow. Normally that's one of those things that I feel like it would be dope like having a buff character like that, but I guess when you play a game long enough to understand that you're just not going to get hurt by anything, some of the challenge I guess goes away. So I feel you. I understand. Okay, so let me take a quick peek at the area, and no one, literally no one, with the exception of one person that's at Burlington. Sweet. There's a, CRJ. There's a CRJ. EDV. What's that call sign? I don't know. But they're going to LaGuardia. They're at the terminal, and I will probably see them if they're still there when I arrive. Now, the the airport's about 350 feet above ground, so above sea level. So when I get to Plattsburgh, I'm probably gonna want to be somewhere between 6 and 5,000 feet to like have this like slow arcing turn to final. And I'm at 21,000 feet right now. Got 100 nautical miles to go. So 21, that's like 16,000. 19,000 would be like, well, 21 divided by 3 is 7. So 70 nautical miles to Plattsburgh International. It's about 26 nautical miles away. As my main complaint, once you get the best gear and you finish upgrading your abilities, you're literally a walking god. and there's no real challenge. Even the final boss gets dumpstered. Oof, wowza. I see. I like and I simultaneously don't like being challenged in games sometimes. Sometimes I just want to use a game as a pure sandbox, which is why which is why when I'm playing SimCity 4 right now and I'm actually trying to get good at what it's asking me to do, it's a challenge. It's a new way to experience the game because I always had like a money mod or a cheat, and it gave me enough money that I never had to worry about actually, balancing the books or doing anything like that. So I just focused on city design, roads, and driving. And and basically having to accomplish something is is actually is actually both fun and sometimes more than a bit frustrating because you're like, I don't feel like dealing with this today sometimes. That's my opinion, at least. Everything up to the end is great. Yeah, yeah, I feel you on that. Okay, I'd say we're about like maybe 5 minutes away from top of drop, probably less. We are about 324 knots over the ground, which is not bad for a plane this small. I'm happy. I'm happy. Sometimes the challenge can be so daunting. Boss does invisible pattern for 2 minutes, dodge, dodge, dodge. I get hit him twice. 3 minute cutscene. Oops, I died. No, I gotta do this all over again. Oh, look. You want to know something else? I have one of those, handheld consoles that I picked up over Christmas. I told you this many times before, but basically, the key point is I played some of the old school arcade games. There was an old school arcade game that I used to see when I used to go to the movie theater. I think you might remember it. It's a game called Steel Gunner. Steel Gunner and I think Steel Gunner 2. I played Steel Gunner and you're basically this kind of like bodysuit mecha thing, and you're like it's like Operation Wolf with a mecha with like jumpsuits and stuff like that. And at the end, the final boss is this kind of like Metal Gear-esque big mech. And then when you defeat the mech and you jump on top to rescue the people, you have to fight this cyborg. And if you lose, if you even get to a point where you have to put in a quarter to continue, the game is over. It's like Nam 1975 when you take on the last boss. If you have to continue, you automatically game over. So it's not even like Super Spy where if you don't beat the boss, without having to continue, you start all over. It's if you die, you're done. And I was just like, oh boy, that sucks. And I do not feel like playing this again. So that's the kind of challenge that I'm not a huge fan of these days. Yes, in real life, if you die, you're dead. I get that. I'm playing a video game. Leave me alone. Um, so I was just like, wow, that wasn't enjoyable. That sucks. So I wasn't a fan of that. But yeah, let me see if I can find a screenshot of it. Arcade game Steel Gunner. Yeah, 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 yeah. Definitely Steel Gunner. Let's see. Images. Yup. Yup. Steel Gunner. There's Steel Gunner and Steel Gunner 2, but Steel Gunner was definitely, I think, at least one of the ones that I played. I don't think I played Steel Gunner 2. But yeah, I mean, essentially, it was like, you know, mecha-based Operation Wolf. I think I was more of a fan of Time Crisis and Virtual Cop. Time Crisis more because the graphics looked a little bit nicer, a little bit more favorable. All right, let's start our descent down now, and Let's do flight level change. And we will stay somewhere around 230 knots for the drop. Okay, book. Okay, looks like we are going to be dealing with some weather at Burlington. So I need to double check myself and make sure I'm not getting myself into serious trouble. Okay. Airports. No, not you. Give me Burlington. Patrick Leahy, Burlington International. Weather? Weather says winds 20024, gusts 42. Oh boy. Um, Broken at 1,300. Peak wind 42 knots. Precipitation discriminator, peak wind 42 knots. So I'm guessing there's some kind of a system that's there, clearly. Okay, descending at 2,200 feet per minute. Now, does that track with my current speed? That's a little bit faster than I want to descend, but we're going to be coming in at 5,000 feet. Even if we hang around 5,000 feet for a little bit, I think we should be fine. Ooh, wind shear, wind shear. Okay, we're below 18,000. The altimeter for Burlington is currently 3002. We'll keep an eye on that. I'll keep pressing B. And we are definitely upstate New York. We're not that far away from the border with Canada. Thanks again for everybody tuning in and hanging out with me today while we fly up to Burlington. I'm enjoying corporate life right now with the Phenom 100. If we have the chance to pull it off, we're going to be flying up to Quebec City next from Burlington, which we'll try to do on stream right now. And we do still have the CRJ parked at the terminal. It's EDV 5341. What's that call sign? Uh, Airline ICAO EDV. EDV is Endeavor. Endeavor. So I'm guessing Endeavor belongs to Delta. Oh, that's neat. That's neat. I'm hoping I see a model matched copy. It's probably gonna be Delta, which would be cool. I started doing cross-country flights in the Phenom 100 and FSX years ago, and I liked flying to different airports. I think the reason why it didn't bother me to fly to so many different places is because I had the Rex Texture Direct Soft Clouds graphics mod, and I also had Rex Worldwide Airports as a mod, which dressed up the default looking airports in FSX. There is no Worldwide Airports add on which dresses up default buildings that I know of, so having what am I trying to say? Like landing at default airports in FS 2020, like it's something that I'll deal with and enjoy as part of the experience. But these days, I'm usually plumbing the depths of FlightSim.to or any other place I can go to get like an airport. I did purchase MK Studios Philadelphia and flew out of it on stream last time, and I do like seeing that airport. It's an airport I've flown out of IRL as a passenger, so seeing the detail they've put into the terminal area is nice. And they've got more than enough graphics in areas to offset the lack of terminals elsewhere. I wish that they would have at least modeled the terminal area directly in front of the international Alpha Concourse gates. Like I get that, you're not going to model absolutely everything everywhere. Otherwise, you're going to basically, put up this massive performance hit. But, it's that's just me. That's just how I roll. Okay, landing lights on, nav strobe, panel lights are on. We're going to be flying into some clouds. Uh, temperature. Where's temperature? OAT is 3. I don't see any precip. I do see precip in front of me, but by the time I get to this area, I'm going to be, I think, well below the cone of concern for icing. At least I hope. So I think we're okay. I am continuing to check for traffic. I think we're good. I don't think we're going to run into an issue. In fact, I should be able to just step away briefly as we prep. I'll come back and then we will land at Burlington. Sit tight, chat, BRB. All right, I'm back, and just in time, we are 1,000 to go for 5,000. We came in way ahead of schedule. Matter of fact, let me just double check. What are we feeling for minimum safe? Give me some perspective. I think we're going to be fine. We are in the soup, though, so I better be careful. I will keep my eye on this particular bumpy area, and I'll just monitor the situation just to make sure I don't do any flying into, let's just say, cumulus granitus. That would be poor form. Poor form indeed. We're inside of 15 nautical miles before we land. And actually, yeah, just about 15 nautical miles before we make the turn to final. Yeah, we're good. All right, so again, I think I'm going to take over and fly heading 090 before we come into runway 19er, which is actually 186. So 186.45 would be 141. 141. 140, basically. Yes, we do not want to be lawn darts. Okay, no, I don't think we will be. We've got ground contact and we've got plenty of clearance over the valley. All right, and that's 186. 186 reciprocal of 186 is going to be 266. And what's my current heading? Wait, no, it's not. It's 006. Duh. Okay, so we're 357 right now. So I could probably point my nose over there actually. Yeah, we don't want to become lawn darts. Certainly ain't something I'm striving for. Okay, let's give it some juice. I do not have to go this slow. Whoa, that's not fun at all. Okay, I'll take over at this point. We're going to go heading select 006. We will continue 006 until we get to just before Plattsburgh, and then we're going to make a right turn to turn right base to 19er. Actually, school me on jarts. Actually, Kev, I've never heard the term. All right, we're gonna make an announcement. Patrick Lady, Burlington traffic. Embraer November 6532 Zulu. Type in Phenom 100. 5000, making right base for runway 19er, Burlington traffic. And we are, yeah, we are, whatchamacallit, we're things. Yeah, no separation surface provided. That's fine. Let's do 3002, and we're going to turn right base. So we're going to go to a heading of 141. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're gonna go. Let's do 121 as we continue to descend, and let's go to. I'm gonna say 2000. Which I do not believe should be an issue. And then we will turn base to 19er. Is that the runway? No, that is 15. That is 15. We want 19er. Okay. And again, nobody else on final. I'm gonna go ahead and take over at this point. We have low clouds. Oh, lawn darts. Oh, I get it now. I remember. I think I never played with lawn darts, but I get your point. Okay. All right. Time for me to do the old, pay attention thing. And let's get this tuned in. Okay, so when we land, we're pretty much going to follow the runway all the way down to Charlie to turn to the general aviation area. Yup. All right. Okay, less than 3,000 feet above sea level. Let's just go ahead and drop the gear now and start slowing down. Burlington traffic, Embraer 32 Zulu turning final runway 19er, Burlington. Okay, floated last time because it came in with too much energy. We're going to try to fix that this time. And I probably overshot the runway. That's fine. Oh, yeah. We're good, though. We're coming in slow, so we should be okay. We should be able to bleed speed off. Come on. Even though I'm not lined up with the runway, my glide path is good. All right, let's get lined up. Give me another notch of flaps. Just give me all the flap things. Oof, windy day. Good gravy. Burlington traffic Embraer 320 short final 19er. Okay. Wow, look at the vertical on that bounce. Didn't hit hard the first time. All right, we're fine. We're fine. Probably no worse than like a 250. Wow, the ground wind though. Let's get those flaps cleaned up. Burlington traffic, Embraer 320 clear runway 19er at Charlie, taxiing GA parking. And what is the CTAF here? Yeah, no CTAF data. And let's see, just confirm. Confirm. Yeah, this is GA. Anywhere's fine, Dig. Anywhere's fine. All right. Definite pucker factor. The winds just like literally would you say lake effect wind? The winds just started to slap the plane around literally in the last 500 feet. Been a while since I've had that happen, if I recall. All right, so cool. Let's go ahead and turn the strobes off since we're done. Turn the timer off. So give or take 5-ish minutes. We made it in about 50 minutes. Maybe like 5 or some odd minutes off. Look at the winds. Look at the winds. I'm not doing anything right now. What's up with this? Wow. Are you telling me the winds are that strong? Yes. Actually, you know what? I am. Because we have winds gusting 42 knots right now from a heading of 200. And yes, that is hitting the plane. Thank you for the shout out to Book of Gaming. And let's go ahead and turn the engines off. So, all right, let's go ahead and depressurize. Okay, no need to turn the airplane off, but I will go ahead and request some ground services. Chocks and GPU. Thank you, Sat Fries. All right, GPU is on now. Let's go ahead and do a few things. Belts off. ELT can stay the way it is. Bumps can come off for now since I'm not running them. Hydro and ADS off. Window heats off. Ignition switches to off. And yeah, there we go. Parking brake is on. GPU is connected, and throttle's idle flaps are 0. So yeah, first it was, ooh, graze the runway, vertical wind column, and then boom, we whomped it down. 2 landings for the price of one, chat. 2 landings for the price of one. So welcome to Burlington. I flew out of here a little while ago, and the one time I have a firm landing, no fire trucks. Go figure. This is a freeware scenery available through flightsim.to. And look at that. Endeavor is a Delta property. Very nice. Oh, you know what? There's even though the texture resolution that I have set is low, it is actually Endeavor Air. I can see the logo. That is dope. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for the model matching. Yeah, but this is Burlington. We've got some really low to the ground terminal jetway gates, and we've got some higher ones. I flew, I think I flew out of here and to Philly or to somewhere else. I forget exactly where I flew, but yeah, I like this place. I don't think this has an interior, and it's okay. Like this looks plenty good right now. Burlington itself, mountains, 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 and lake right there. So we're good. I have Rex AccuSeason update my setup on a nightly basis, so this is more or less indicative of what you'd see in terms of foliage right now. So that's fine. I'm happy. And the area where we're at right now, we have a few custom buildings. Heritage Aviation. Look at that. 129902. Heritage. This looks good. This looks real good. Getting inspired here. Sheesh. Yeah, man, I'm trying not to care too much about like the overall presentation of stuff. Like, I didn't pay anything for this, so I'm not expecting interiors. I just like how the buildings look. And this is kind of inspiring me because if I'm going to work on freeware, I don't need to sweat so much small stuff. Hey, Kev, take care. Enjoy your food. May the Lord bless you and be with you. God bless you. Hope you have a great afternoon. Uh, I might actually continue on from here because really the only alternative for me is to stop streaming, or excuse me, not stop streaming, stop flight simming, and then go to like say go to play a game, either like truck or play the marathon game that I've been into right now, which is neat. Don't get me wrong, but I think we're going to continue on to Quebec. Just watching over my friends here. My two cats are with me, and my one cat I think wants to sit in the window. So I'm going to open this up and uppies. There we go. All right, there's my boy. All right, so good, good. We are set. We are literally running on ground power. Oh, Kev, you might have been away when we talked. Quick, she is on new regiment. She is trying, trying to get medicine so that her pain levels can come down and she can go to sleep. She has been basically getting an academic amount of sleep, but not the thing that we do when either one of us knock out every night and wake up the next day. Like she barely sleeps at all. And I mean, I got like I usually sleep like 6 to 7 hours a night. I got 3 hours tonight because I had to wake up early for something, but she barely got any, and she's barely been getting any for the past like month. So God willing, she will get to a point where she can sleep better and soon. But meanwhile, it's just helping her get through the night as best I can before I basically pass out in bed. And then basically we start over the next day. Yes, we were in the hospital. We went to the ER last Sunday. Yeah, for literally just so much of the pain she was experiencing. So good. I don't know how to describe it because obviously I'm not a doctor, but I will say she in the past has slipped into and out of dream state so quickly. It's almost like a sleep stream where she's not getting restorative sleep. She was just like getting tired and just like dreaming and then waking up like 5 minutes later, 1 minute later, 30 seconds later. It's just one of those weird things, man. It is. So, do I want my second flight to be on VATSIM? TBH, let me take a look. Let me take a look at what the VAT spy radar looks like. There's nobody controlling Boston Center. There's nobody controlling what is it? Quebec Center? What would this be considered? Where is the where is the designator for this area? Well, I'll find out real quick. Hold on. Montreal. Montreal Center's offline. Boston Center's offline. So no, no. I think I think one flight on Vatsim for today is pretty good. Sorry, let me make sure I get some water nearby because I just been unsettled with my throat here. So one flight on VATSIM as Embraer 32 Zulu. I'm happy with that. Now let's get some more traffic, and what we're going to do is we're going to sign off of VATSIM. We are going to shut this down. I'm going to open up my open up my FSLTL injector and start injecting some traffic for our second flight to Quebec City, and we'll have even more time to chill and to hang out. Checked in. Mrs. Digi is locked into what she's doing right now, so she should be fine. We should definitely start seeing some traffic here momentarily. If I go all the way out to 25 nautical miles, I should start seeing a bunch of hits out here. Oh, um, I don't think I have my. Yeah, I think my transponder code is suspended. But let me just set up my own squawk code for now. 2257. We're going to do a VFR flight to Quebec City, to Jean-Lesage, and we're going to restart the planning process. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like light sleep almost all the time. And it's like you can function. I've functioned on like 5 hours of sleep. I functioned on 4 hours of sleep, but just barely. And then the weird thing happens because sleep cycles, in my opinion, are 3 hour affairs. So if I sleep 6 hours, cool. If I sleep 3 hours, better be, I better be traveling. Like, I better be heading down to my destination vacation because then I'll crash that night. Um, but if it's like 2 hours sleep, 4 hours sleep, like it's just it's no good, no good at all. And I have officially arrived at that point in my life where it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I drink a third cup of coffee at night. I'll still crash. Not because I'm accustomed to it, but because it won't touch my exhaustion if I've slept less than I think like 6 hours. Oh wow, wow! Waking up during a REM cycle. Like I think I used to have a smartwatch that actually tracked my sleep. I used to actually have a different device that tracked my sleep, but for some reason it stopped working. But yeah, like I would have deep sleep periods capped off. I think it will be light sleep and then like deep sleep periods that were longer. That's the hope, of course. But yeah, I think she's just been stuck in light sleep with barely any deep sleep at all. Although she did start to get back to sleeping a little bit more the past few days with the medicine switch up. So let's start here. Let's go ahead and plug in. And you know what I need to do? I probably need to delete the entire flight plan. Can I delete it? Is the question. How would I? Hmm. Yeah, here we go. So I'll just do this the old-fashioned way. I'll get rid of each endpoint because other than the departure out of Stewart, we didn't have anything. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna take off out of Burlington. Oh no no no, that's Plattsburgh. Duh. Um, Burlington, KBTV. Why did I think it was KPBG? Wow. Hoo hoo. No wonder I couldn't raise CTAF. Knucklehead. Okay, we will depart on. I'm probably going to depart on runway 19er because honestly, I'm not having this incredible crosswind and departure drama. Charlie cross 19er, Alpha cross 33, and then take off 19er. So we're going to pick 19er again. And press enter. And then destination is going to be CYQB, Charlie, Yankee, Quebec Bravo. And that is Quebec. Yeah, dude. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I've taken sleeping for granted. This has taught me to be way more considerate about that. So, yeah, I don't want to be I don't want to be that guy anymore. I don't want to be that guy anymore. All right. Let's pick Burlington and let's pick our destination. It's going to be CYQB. I'm using my local, excuse me, local Navigraph Charts app. And there we go. I can add that to the route. And now we have Burlington to Quebec City. We're going to choose runway 19er. There's an 11 knot crosswind on departure, and we'll be taking the Burlington 1. We are going to choose our runway. The runway in question is probably going to be runway 6, I want to say. Let me see. Let me see. 6 is certainly long enough, that's for sure. But let's see. The Oh, there we go. Discovery Air is at the end of 6. So we could float the daylights out of runway 06 and be just fine. I can come into this with like 160 knot approach speed, 140 knot approach speed and just ride it out, which is what I intend to do. So we're going to pick runway 6 and then we're going to pick the we could do the Umvar 1 arrival from Umvar, and then we can line up. We can do Arnav Zulu, or we can actually tune an ILS frequency. Let's tune the ILS, and we will be following ILS into runway 6, which is a change of pace. All right, so we're gonna pick runway 6 for Quebec City. There we are. Okay, now let's pick the approach. ILS 6. We're going to take vectors. And minimums at Quebec City are I'm usually going to go with I usually go with the highest number, but ILS straight in is 443 feet for MDA, and that's Barrow. 443, so basically 450. And there we go. We can load it, and the waypoints we're going to be going. Do we need to go direct Umvar from here? We could. Um, we're going to be going direct waypoints anyway. So 19er, and then probably we could go direct Daxug. Okay, Daxug. Okay, and then we go to the arrival. Let's pick the arrival. Activate the arrival. Select the arrival. Give me Umvar 1 and 06. Direct from Umvar. And then we're going to load that. And there is our arrival. And we're going to go direct runway 19er for departure. Departure. Okay, so leaving 19er, and then we're going to go to Daxug and then go into the arrival for 06. Okay, that's fine. Circling departure. That's fine. That's fine. We'll go direct Daxug. We'll have no problem achieving it because it's so far away from the airport. So there we go. Rudy, hello. Welcome, my friend. Good to see you. Oh, wow. 2000 for a studio. Unfortunately, I've seen prices like that in my general area as well, and it's regrettable. It's regrettable. Okay. All right. So previously on X-Men, we bounced the landing at Burlington. We did not go to the Code Factory, and we are at GA, but we do have some FSLTL traffic plugged in. Apparently, there's a cargo terminal right next to the GA terminal. That's fine. And we're going to be flying out of Burlington, and we're going to be going into Canada. We're going to Quebec City. We are going to be going to Quebec City. But again, welcome, my friends. Welcome, Rudy. Hi, Book, if you're still lurking. We are flying the Phenom 100. This is an Embraer jet, and it is a wonderful little jet that was basically getting bounced around before we touched down. I was literally almost full throttle trying to keep this thing up in the air. So, fortunately, we didn't crash, but I, I sometimes understand why it's difficult to go flying in small planes in inclement weather because of the fact that you're just going to get bounced around so much, even in a plane like this with jet engines. So, is what it is. Okay, so let's get ready again, and let's go ahead get the packs, get the oxygen flowing again. We have generators and battery already running. The GPU's plugged in. Seatbelt signs back to on, pumps to auto, hydro and ADS AOA pumps to auto, window heats on, and we will do ignition switches to auto, not on, auto. Bleeds on and pressurization is auto. Flaps are zero, parking brake is set, thrust idle, and let's go ahead and turn our yaw damper back on for departure. When we climb out of here, we're going to be climbing initially to what? Burlington 1, runway 19er to 5,900. That's actually really weird, but whatever. Again, we're not on a VATSIM right now, so I can do whatever I want. If I'm going to be flying to Quebec, I would say for a flight like this, probably flight level 210 again, just like we did last time, with our climb being as quick as it was. Okay, so 210 for departure, and flight level change again will most likely be 170 knots for the climb. The winds are crazy here. Gusts were like 42 knots on arrival. Hey, Fuzzy Pickles, good to see you. Love your soul, my friend. You found better properties in Seattle for half the price? Ooh, okay. Yeah, the money, the money. The money is moneying. The money is moneying where the money occurred. So, flight director's on, yaw damper is now on, and we have our initial climb set. We are going to depart Burlington, taxiing down Charlie, crossing runway 1, right turn on Alpha, crossing runway 33, then 19er for departure. And am I missing anything? No, we should be fine. We're pressurized. Fuel pumps are on. And let's make sure before we turn anything on that we have enough fuel for the trek. How much fuel do I think I'm going to need? I'm probably going to take about 1,700, 1,800 pounds, just like I did last time, just to be safe. Even though apparently we only used about 600 pounds of fuel. I will top it off at 1,800 just to be on the safe side, and that's going to take care of us for the flight. We should be good. Okay. Again, no need to use GSX for pushback. We can take care of ourselves. We will remove the chocks in the GPU though to get going. And current battery voltage is maxed out at 25.4. So chocks and GPU are now gone. And let's check. Yep. Clear left, clear right, clear prop. There we go. Engine 2 startup. Oh yeah, baby. Here we go. Ever gonna do one chore and three others just pop up? That so didn't just happen to me. Oh my word. Engine number 1. Okay, engines are running. We no longer need the GPU. It was disconnected anyway. And let's go ahead and tune this bird for takeoff. Full left, full right, full back, full forward. And rudder pedal checks. We got full left, full right rudder. We'll tune, I'm going to say flaps 2 for departure, just to make sure we're good. And we are going to give it the juice this time, and we're not going to ease off to we're at least 5,000 feet. My probe, my airspeed is just going nuts because of the gusts. This is going to be a interesting takeoff. I'm going to say that now. Taxi lights on. I'm going to turn the strobe light on right now because we're going to be crossing runways. At least 2 runways. And now we can sit up a little bit. Try again. All right, kids. Parking brake is off. Here we go. All right, we will go past the airport terminal. We're going to see if anybody's actually parked there right now. I don't know what the delay is for FSLTL. It's supposed to be live traffic. And speaking of live traffic, someone just came in. Oh no, that's that's not a plane. That's a truck. Ha ha ha! I thought it was a plane on a runway. I'm like, why is that plane so small? Why don't I see a tail or wings? Oh, it's a truck. That's great. Okay. Yeah, like it's crazy. I have to put in rudder input on the ground right now. I'm taxiing at about like maybe 17 miles an hour. Yeah, we got winds, Chad. We got winds. Okay. Anybody? Anybody? Nope. Nobody. That's a plain old truck. Heyo! Dad jokes inbound. Keep 'em coming. You will have to explain yourself. Oops. Okay, so we got a cargo plane at the ramp, but we don't have anybody picking up or dropping off today? I guess not. Hey, Johnny. Oh, man. Sheesh, the pushback truck ride height's almost as high as the flight deck on this little jet. It's a small plane. It's a small plane. All right, bye bye, Burlington. Now, did everybody go to the coat factory? Okay, great, 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 great. We are doing the deal, about ready to get out of here. It's a small plane after all. It's a small plane after all. And let's get the lighting lights on. Nav strobe. Panel lighting's up. And I can adjust the barrel mins after I get going. We will hit the start button for the flight. And we'll get going. Dude, I still want to go back to Disney. I'm stoked. I'm going to be going. I hope to go to Disney as well as Universal Epic Universe. I have a feeling I'm going to need more money to do that, so I'm hoping I get that because I would like to go to Mario World, clearly, and have fun there. But even if the only thing I do is go to a few places at Disney, we do plan on going on a cruise as well. So, uh, needless to say, I am looking forward to that. Oh, nice one, Tecolote. Plain cheese. Oh, nice. Welcome aboard. So happy to have you aboard, friend. All right, we're flying out of Burlington. We're going to Quebec City in Quebec. And am I missing anything? No. Although, in general, if I'm on a runway, I should be using it. So, let me just double check my volume levels. We should be good otherwise. Let me give you guys some more cabin, or excuse me, airplane sounds. And away we go. Okay, engine stable. Full throttle. Had one final check. Had no traffic. Whoa, the traffic, the wind almost pushed me off the runway. Better correct that. Okay, 100 knots. Wow, the wind's really pushing my plane. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. And up, up, and up some more. Positive rate. Flaps 1, please. And immediate right turn. Let's not hit those wind turbines. $30. Oh yeah, baby, here we go. Those clouds look concerning. Um, yeah, they look beefy, but wasn't much more than rain that I saw earlier. Here we go. Yeah, no radar right now. Okay. Autopilot. Flight level change is going to be 170. Push my passengers back in their seats a while. There we go. All right. OAT is 1 degree, but I do not see any precip. Transponder is 2257. We are altitude reporting, so we are squawking. And let's get back on the beam here. And then that should get us set on the GPS path. And we are at 7,000, climbing flight level 210. What else am I missing? Not much at the moment. Oh wow, we're almost breaking free. Hey, Iowa Scotsman, thank you so much for the sub. 56 months. Welcome. Welcome back, my friend. You joined us for Flight 2. We just flew into Burlington on VATSIM. This flight is not on VATSIM, and man, was it windy when we came in. Incredible. We are in the Phenom 100. This is FS 2020. We're flying to Canada today, and we're going to wind up in Quebec. I think what we're going to wind up doing is going out to the Maritimes, like over to Halifax, maybe even going as far as St. Pierre. I don't have scenery for St. John's, so either I find some or I just turn around at St. Pierre and fly back through like either Halifax or Prince Edward Island down the coast. Maybe Bar Harbor, get scenery for New Hampshire if I don't already have it, and then wind up at like Providence and then Block Island, or just go from New Hampshire straight to Block Island, which isn't going to be a very long haul, and then go down the coast. So there we go, Flight 2 underway. Just below 170 knots for the climb. This is basically this plane's version of an auto throttle. FADEC helps me maintain a specific speed while achieving my climb. I'm climbing at about 2,300 feet per minute, and we are max throttle. I think at this point we can go back to takeoff. That is going to do it. And let's see. Oh, excuse me, we did have some precip and I wasn't paying attention. Negligible now, though, since we have broken out of cloud cover, but I will be vigilant for problems with climb or stability. At 2,100 feet per minute, we should probably be able to get above these clouds ahead of us. How is everybody doing today? It is Good Friday. As a follower of Jesus Christ, I take this day to remember the sacrifice that was made for me. My Savior and Redeemer, Jesus, died on a cross to pay for my sins and the sins of humanity, to save us from hell and from eternal separation from God, so that when we die, if we choose Jesus as Lord and choose to believe in Him and follow Him, when we die, we can spend eternity with God in heaven. The essence of the gospel is basically it like one of the fastest ways for me to explain it is basically what happened to one of the two thieves that was crucified next to Christ on the cross. The one thief cursed him and died. The other thief cursed him, then realized who he was, realized that he was getting what his deeds deserved, but that Jesus did nothing wrong, and said, Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. In my opinion, that's basically the most condensed and concentrated apologetic, where the thief recognized, yeah, I'm getting what I deserve. This guy did nothing wrong. he is Yeshua. Like he is the Messiah. Remember me when you come into your kingdom. In my opinion, it's him saying, "I believe you are who you say you are. Help me when you get to where you're going," which is awesome. So that's it, man. Good Friday is a celebration, a remembrance of the sacrifice that was made for me. And like the old song says, it's Friday, but Sunday is coming. And there is an empty tomb in Jerusalem. In Jerusalem or outside Jerusalem? I keep forgetting. But the phrase is there's an empty tomb in Jerusalem. And that means that, you know, Easter Sunday we celebrate the resurrection of Jesus. 180, we are standard barometric pressure. We're no longer under pressure, we're over it. Huh? Okay. Alright. So we got a while yet. We got quite a while, and it looks like we're just going to get right to flight level 210 even before we get to Daxug. That's another 76 nautical miles away, so we're fine. We're fine. That'll do. That'll do. Tomorrow I will be taking it easy. I do not know if I'm going to be streaming like I usually do tomorrow. I'm about 1,000% sure I will not be streaming on Sunday. Church and family time. And then next week comes. If I stream tomorrow, I might do something other than flight sim. I might actually play the game that I was actually playing, like marathon, or play some SimCity 4. Or I might do even retro gaming. Like I might actually play Front Mission Gun Hazard on stream because I've really come to enjoy that game now. Or find some other previously undiscovered titles that should be, safe for me to play on stream, and something that I think I'm interested in. I might go back to some of the standards, like either playing like Game Boy games or playing like the Nintendo like launch titles. Like I'm talking like Pilot Wings or stuff like that. So I don't know. We'll see. I mean, clearly I want to do stuff such that Mrs. Digi is helped and cared for. If she's fine, if she's doing her thing, and she's like, hey, go have fun, go say hi to your friends for me, then boom, more on. And you guys can check my Discord. Speaking of which, in case you're not, I'm going to take the opportunity to give you guys a chance to become a member of my Discord right now. The case is pretty simple. You basically click on the link here. You go to my Discord. You'll be taken to the rules page where you basically have to thumbs up the rules to get privileges. And then you can become a member of the DigiFam Discord channel. We talk about flight simming, we talk about gaming, retro, software development sometimes, scenery dev. I talk about my life as a follower of Christ. I just, open up and sometimes just vent. So if you want to, feel free to join, and, you'll be a part of the journey. I try to post on a somewhat regular basis, although sometimes, like recently, this period of time has been, hey, it's been less than ideal. So we'll do what we can. Definitely, we'll do what we can. Okay, so let's take a look at the map. We are going direct Daxug right now. And I'm going to plug that into the flight plan. There we are. DAXA is going to take us to the Umvar waypoint, which is going to take us to the Umvar 1 arrival. If we take a look at the Umvar 1 arrival, then we need to be at 5,000 at Detgo. So let's see, that's like 7, 15, 5,000 from 21, that's 16,000. Yeah, so again, about like 70 some odd nautical miles when we begin. So probably when I get to Umvar, I'll probably begin my descent, if not sooner, because Daxug is out here. And how long is this leg? This is a 25 nautical mile leg. So basically, I think I might need to begin descending when I get to Daxug. Although I think that's a bit over the top in terms of controlled descent. Once I get to Daxug, I will need to understand what my situation is. But again, if I begin my descent at Daxug, I'll probably do a vertical speed descent instead of the flight level change I did last time, because I wound up at like 5,000 feet, way ahead of when I wanted to be at 5,000 feet. But better to be there and prepared than not be at your desired altitude when you get close to landing, which, as you can imagine, complicates things. Wow, we're definitely feeling the winds, that's for sure. Or at least I was. And if you think I'm kidding about winds, go back and watch the VOD or the broadcast VOD that's building right now, and you'll see my approach into Burlington. Like, basically, number one, we almost bit it. Number two, I was like almost full throttle at 120 knots, and the winds were out of like 200, which is like 10 degrees off my nose, gusting 42 knots. So, yeah, it's windy, which is probably why there's not a lot of real-time traffic flying over there right now, because the winds are crazy. I mean, I could have been trying to fly out of runway 15 with winds that bad. The crosswind component would have been like 20, 30 knots. No. I don't even know if there are any flights flying out of there right now. So I would imagine there aren't any because of the wind, which is kind of crazy. Kind of crazy. Second flight of the day, after which I think I'm probably going to go either make myself coffee or drink more water. Probably should drink more water first. And then maybe play some marathon or, catch up with some other stuff I'm meaning to do. That's a really satisfying swigs of water just now. Good stuff. Kev, we are on our way to Quebec City. We just took off from Burlington a little while ago, and the winds were still just as bad. Maybe even worse. We are on our way to Daxug. We've got this waypoint, and then we go to the Umvar 1 arrival. We're going to be landing at Quebec City International on runway 6. The windy situation, Burlington. Yeah, like winds when we touched down, winds were, I think, roughly 200 at like 24, gusting 42. So let me see. If I go on Flight Radar 24 and I look up Burlington, oh, okay. There are flights flying into and out of Burlington right now. So they've got flights scheduled at 2:30, 2:31, 2:35, 3. and then some at 4:32, and then at 5 o'clock and onwards. So yeah, they actually are flying. And I would imagine they're not going to use runway 19er, but I mean, if they know their stuff, they probably could. They're probably going to depart on runway 15, based on the winds right now. If you did marathon, I can recommend Strafe. It's a boomer shooter that's basically a love letter to old games. Lots of references and secrets. One of the weapons lets you climb walls as you shoot, which is a marathon exploit. Yes, I remember that, and I'm going to have to get good at that because it's actually required for a level in either Marathon Durandal or Infinity. Strafe, huh? Oh, interesting. Feel free to drop that one into the retro section of the Discord, if you please. Okay. We are less than 20 nautical miles from Daxug, and then the next waypoint takes us into the arrival. Do I want to start descending right after I pass Daxug? Maybe. Maybe. So 40, 80 roughly. 40, 80. No, no. I think when I get to Umvar, I'll probably start a lazy descent. That should do it. That should do it. I don't need to worry about descending right now. Okay. We definitely got some weather in the area. Look at those clouds popping up above the general mass. We got loads of clouds in the area. Loads of them, I say. Loads. I can tell flying business jets is something that I enjoy doing because, like, I like a great, um, 787 flight or 737 flight or 757 flight as much as the next flight sim streamer. But the Phenom and I have history because this was the plane I used to learn how to fly on VATSIM back in my FSX days, literally over 10 years ago. Actually, just about 10 years ago, yeah. And I was flying on a tablet and having fun and not really caring too much about like graphical intensity. I pushed my poor Surface Pro 3 to its limits by installing a whole bunch of like Orbex land class and all that stuff, tweaking the daylights out of my config file, you know, squeezing every drop of frame rate I could. I had a Honeywell desk fan behind my tablet to keep it cool, just so I can undervolt and overclock the thing to the max. It was basically that thing's finest hour. I want to play now. uh, Good times, good times. I miss I miss being able to sit with friends and gather around like a TV, or even gather around someone's house just to watch them play computer games or play computer games with them. I miss, I miss sitting across from my parents. I'm thankful that I have both of them with me, of course. But I miss sitting because they're out of state. I miss sitting across the table from my parents and just talking about some stuff. I miss seeing my siblings, my relatives. I miss interacting with people, which is kind of why I've joked around with people like Studio Canuck and Nathan's Planes, like a Canadian tour, go see Studio Canuck, and then basically we'll like go to the supermarket, get some steaks, uh, make sure he has a grill or even just a griddle, and then basically we'd like cook the steaks. I'd like, make rice, serve veggies, have appetizers, and then go all in on a flight. So while he's streaming and his friends are hanging out, I'm in the kitchen doing the chief purser thing, and then basically I serve it up, in-flight meal, and then maybe, like I fly the leg back with him or something like that. The friend thing, people, interacting with people. I miss doing that, and I want to do that more. Okay, looks like I've got some stuff inbound today. Deliveries are coming in. Mrs. Digi says she has some surprises inbound for us, so I'm going to leave them that way. I'm not going to take a peek because the notifications on your phone are like, say, whatever it is you ordered is like 10 stops away. I don't want to look at it. I want her to have the joy of giving me something that I don't know is coming. So that's fine. Uh, the one thing that I think I'd like to play with, I'm gonna be real. I would like to play with like a Raspberry Pi 5 16 gig. Here's the problem. Those things are now selling for like 300 bucks a pop. And no, I'm not gonna get into like RAM shortages and stuff like that. It's for me, it's just basically money. And I have plenty of other things I can play with right now. So I will. I just need to let Yahweh work on my soul and let me rest. I've been doing my best at work. I've been doing my best trying to get that opportunity which fell through. I want to get to a place where I'm just like, you know what? This is where I am. This is exactly what's going on. I'm okay with it. And I am not going to, as they say, flip out or crash out. Like there's nothing else that I can do about my situation right now. There's nothing else I can do about my circumstances. It's literally what my situation is right now. Like I can't change it. I can't do anything different about it. That's it. That's all. Period. End of discussion. So why not worship my Lord and Savior in the middle of that situation and be like, you know what? You own this. You own all of it. You know my heart. You know my desire. I'm just going to go ahead and surrender and worship you in the moment and be like, you got this. No matter what happens, you're going to wind up doing what you're going to wind up doing when you do it. And speaking of timing, let's go ahead and begin our descent. We will take this bird down to 5,000 feet. And we will do it vertical speed style. So basically 300 knots, about 1,500 feet per minute should be fine. Thank you, Rudy. Yeah, like, what? What? I'm gonna get mad at God? No, no. In the midst of my craziest circumstances, it's just like if I have to worship Him through tears, not that I want to, but He deserves it. If I get nothing else for the rest of my life, other than the free gift of eternal life through Christ, He's already carried me across a threshold that's unbelievable. So praise Yahweh in the moment. That's it. Now, we do have some friends with us on the flight today, as you can tell. Just a few. Just a few. Going to go to some kind of gathering or get together in Quebec City. And We do have a weather system waiting to greet us at Quebec. Really a front for that matter. But it's either on its way out or on its way in. Which reminds me, I should probably check my weather. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, airports. Jean-Lesage International. We are going to. We're going to have. Ooh, wow. Clouds are broken at 300 feet. Okay, so guess what? We're going to sync the current heading. We're going to be in heading mode for a little bit because we need to actually tune the ILS frequency. I need to do that. ILS runway 6. This could be one of those I don't care, I'm landing no matter what, but it's gonna be tricky. So 109.5, which is what we're already tuned to for both. The course heading is 061. Course heading 061. How do I tune that? Course heading right here. 061. Rolling with all the honeys. Hey, no. No, 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 no. Charter flight. I know where my honey comes from, and I am quite content. All right, so that is VOR1, VOR2, same frequency, 061 again, course heading 2. Hope everyone has brushed up on their French because I'm definitely not. Yeah, I need to work on that quickly. All right, so course settings are set, which means we can go ILS now when we need to. And 356, let's go ahead and go back to nav mode. And we are recapturing the nav. I didn't. He said, I didn't see a single dude back there. Just saying. Okay, you know what? There we go. Bingo. Vindication. All right, 213. We can probably go a little bit faster, though, actually. You were tricky with the camera angle, I see. Good times. Good times. Okay, where are we with restrictions, though? Restrictions. I need to be at or above 8,000. Since I'm going to be 6. Yes, we'll make that restriction, no problem. Let's continue our descent, though. I think I'm going to drip, drop to 2,200 feet per minute. I don't want to go too much faster than 250 knots for the drop, honestly. We should be good. Like that lady in the blue shirt. Well, so good, I'm not going to lie. I've had my share of blue days lately, and life's been rough. Life has definitely been rough. But I almost feel like there's a part of me that was built for this season that I'm in right now. Let me slow down and let me increase my descent angle. There's a part of me that just says, like, I can't fix my situation, and that's just how it's going to be. So I'm going to do my best to enjoy the moment that I'm in. Do I think I can just smile my way through every problem in my life? No, no, I don't. And things are difficult. Things are difficult. Look at these clouds. Wow. All right. I think I'm going to call the ball on icing. Just turning on my ice protection just to be safe. Landing 15 at BTV as we type. Interesting. Okay, so they're using that runway. I wouldn't have expected them to use the skinny runway for 1-9ers, so that's fine. And we might actually get close to making 5,000 for our... What was it? Was it Dead Go? Yeah, Dead Go. Dead Go is 5,000. But even if we're like 6,000, we're fine. Again, I needed to make the restriction if I was on VATSIM. I'm not a VATSIM. I'm good. We can extend the center line to land on 06, even go to Pen 2 or all the way back to Aplac if we have to. I'm not worried about it. Selgan, I will tell you this much. Um, the difficulties that I've faced or the challenges that I have dealt with lately have made me be like, okay, there are certain things that I just do not need to spend my time thinking about anymore. I'm not talking about the serious issues of the day. I'm just talking about, for example, you know, do I want to watch something on TV that I know isn't going to help me and it's going to make me be cynical? No, I don't want to do that, so I'm not going to. So yeah, like that's the thing that makes me think. Like getting myself sorted for the sake of making sure that I focus on the stuff I need to focus on. Okay, 1,800 feet per minute at this point, and I'm going to probably activate the approach. Activate vector to final. Alright, so we're probably going to keep turning until we actually go to our heading. Current heading, let's go direct Kavat, and then that will line me up with the ILS. Okay. Anybody in the area? Nobody that's in my glide path. Narp. We're still in the clouds. Oh yeah. This is gonna be a thing. OAT is -1? Yeah, we're keeping anti-ISO until we touch down, bro. Saying. And again, just want to thank everybody for coming out today to support the channel. Having you guys in chat, cracking jokes, and just letting me share time with you is a privilege, and I don't take that for granted. Let's go ahead and activate approach mode. Localizer. All right, sweet. So about 210 knots on the approach. This is very zippy, but I'm going to start slowing down drastically once we get to the, once I start to see the diamond come down. There we go. Diamond is on the way down. It is a good Friday indeed, my brother. Joe, it's a privilege having you here, my friend. I know I like to crack dad jokes and stuff and make people laugh, but I'm not afraid to admit I really I'm privileged to be able to lean on friends like you in the flight sim community, just so sometimes I can be transparent. It's like I told you before, like it's not all smiles sometimes. Sometimes it's rough, really rough. Okay, let's see. Are we descending? I don't think we're descending. Hold on. Okay, we I think we missed the glide slope invite, but that's fine. We'll fix it. All right, that's fine. We'll go manual. Give me flaps one. And thank you for the shout out to Ibanez. Okay, better get back on the path quick. I do see the airport. Synthetic vision is letting me cheat a bit. Actually, cheat quite a bit. Okay, now, do me a favor, plane. Trim this approach out, turn the autopilot back on, and stay on localizer, please. Joe, I got to tell you this straight up. You have been a wonderful person to hang out with and say hello to. We'll do gear down now, which should bleed off airspeed drastically. Okay, 5 nautical miles out. And again, this runway 06 will let us go pretty much almost all the way down to Discovery Air, which is just at the end of 06. I think flaps 2 is fine. And we are in the... Wait, is it snowing? Oh, here we go. Crazy. It's snowing, Chad. It's snowing. Okay, ground contact. About 3, maybe 2 nautical miles out. Give me the mousers, please. Come on. Come on. Don't be mean. Yeah, we have landing lights on. We also do not have traffic inbound. At least not that I know of. Thank you, Kev. We could go a bit faster, though. .500 runway in sight. Aircraft is mine. That's just me stepping on the rudder pedals. This is fine. Winds are almost down the nose at 10 knots. This is way better than what it was at Burlington. Dive and drive. Again, we can go long on this. Little bit off to the left of center line. That's okay. Smooth it out. Oof, wow. I decrabbed. Just the slightest little. There we go. Gentle. Easy does it. And it's like, oh man, it wasn't a centerline landing. Hey, all 3 tires landed on pavement, right? Right. We good, fam. I could probably peel off here if I really want to. We're not going that fast. Welcome to Quebec City. Yes, sir. We got here, and the peeps are safe. I do need to do some adjustments to jetways because things, but we are down. We are on taxiway Delta, and we got this kind of dip in the road here, and then one, two, three right turns, and then we'll basically be set. Okay. All right, we can stop it at this point, and we have about 45 minutes of a flight. Wonderful little trip into Quebec City. Okay, we're gonna keep going down here, and then I think I turn right into the establishment. We like safe peeps. That's the lady in blue. Wait, okay. Well, hold on. All right, we'll check. We'll check. Ma'am, ma'am, did it go well? Ma'am, clearly she's pleased. We good. All right. One last little flirtation with the weather. I certainly was not expecting to see snowfall, even in a flight sim. And look at that. Welcome to Discovery Air, everybody. Welcome to Quebec City. Oh, yeah, we're Gucci. Oh, my word. And we even got a visit from Global Freightways in the house. Global Freezy in the Heezy for Sheezy. Premier Aviation. Let's go ahead and park up. Call the boys. We got one more to park. Strobe lights down. All right. And give me chocks and GPU for now, and we'll turn the GPU on. We're going to turn the GPU on because we need to keep this cabin cool. Welcome, everybody. Welcome down to Quebec City. I'm getting the idea that these are probably, what am I going to say, FSLTL placements, but still, that's fun. Gregorian, hey, hey, it's so good to see you, my friend. Better than I deserve. We just did our second flight. We flew into Quebec City from Burlington in Vermont, and just checking out the place. I have FSLTL model matching turned on. There are some, I think, static planes that are here, like these two birds. Actually, these four birds. Look at that. This is so dope. Um, we have other buildings and such. Avjet. I like what they did with the place. So neat. And I need to adjust my Jetway plugins because I installed this but I didn't run FS FS Dream Team to get the Jetways kept this third party. I'll make sure I do that with some of the recent sceneries that I've installed. But this is actually freeware uh, Quebec City airport scenery, and honestly, this looks nice. Don't mind the missing taxiway pieces. That's just FS 2020 being FS 2020. That's fine. Um, we do have some FSLTL traffic, which I'm happy for. But yeah, I mean, considering we landed into snow, I'm very happy with what I see. Um, Definitely enjoying myself. Gregorian, I'm doing good. Mrs. Digi has been having some issues with sleep and medicine as part of a program which will hopefully get her back on her feet. She's been dealing with chronic pain for a long time. Otherwise, man, I'm blessed. I get to be home today with my wife and my pets. I'm gonna get up shortly to go make myself some coffee, probably play a few more video games today, and hope to spend time with family. I may not have as much. I may not have as much money in my account as I'd like to, but I definitely have. I definitely have family and true riches through Christ. Friends, thanks so much for stopping by today. We we had a good time. We've been streaming now for a little over 2.5 hours, which is definitely atypical for me these days. We enjoyed a couple flights from Stewart International to Burlington. We went from Burlington to here in Quebec City. And if I do anything tomorrow, it will probably not involve flight simming, although I might change my mind, to be honest. Love you, my friend. Love you, book. Gregorian, take care of yourself. And Kev, thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks so much, everybody, for being here. I'm humbled that as many people are still hanging out here as there are. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and send the love on to another person that's streaming right now. Yes, thank you so much for being here. Love your soul, my friend. Let's see who we can say hello to really quickly. We've got Kenko's doing Kerbal Space Program. Uh, Impulse Simulations is doing Good Friday Appeal. They're doing a community flight. I don't know if they're still flying. Arch NDA is flying the Black Square Caravan. Let me see. Who else can I say hello to? Oh, let me check on a friend. Let me check and see if my friend is still crunching it right now. I get the feeling they're done because I don't see them flying at the moment. But let me just pick. I'm gonna say, oh, I know exactly who we can say hello to. Let's go raid Moose. Raiding Moose Staffa. All right, friends, thanks so much for tuning in today. Stay tuned on Discord for more. If you haven't already signed up for my Discord, again, I would invite you to do so. I put the link before in chat. I'll put the link up again just so you have it. And that way you'll be able to catch me for future news and stuff. Let's go say hi to Moose. Take care, my friends. Like I always like to say at the end of our stream, if you want true peace, you want the Prince of Peace, and that's Jesus Christ. Take care, buddy. Take care, everybody. Until next time. See you.